Fanwarongo na no moni vanua Kena tani levu tuna ua Lo mango voli me ubau batuka Tovolea ke balavu na bula
Hello, good evening. Hello.
Scotty, the Kruber historian and weatherman. Looking
I was
good right
thinking-
now.
I was thinking Brendan was the weatherman, but
No, you're sending me my forecast. I love it. Yeah.
yeah. Hang on. Let me turn you upside down there. Yeah, that's better. Right.
Hello,
Mr.
Scotty.
Dave, what are you jarring on?
I've got it's no Pat. This lovely chicken. What is it? It's a Mexican one. Cajun chicken. Cajun chicken. And nice potatoes, peppers. It's all right. I mean, it's not up to your boiled potato standard, obviously, Brucey.
Well, obviously, yeah.
Have you had your steak tonight? Have you had a steak? Have you had
Not yet,
potato?
not yet.
Right.
And no boiled potatoes.
No. Cheers.
I'll tell you what though, all these different cruise lines, people talking about, well, they like this and they like that. Princess Cruises is the only cruise line where you can do this, where I can zoom from the middle of the ocean.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad John's coming in. I was thinking about him today.
That's the nearest to Mexican I can find. That backdrop.
There we are.
Hello,
everybody.
John.
Back.
One
Hello.
Pete. Hello, Hilda.
Hello, David.
Lovely.
Right. It's all very quiet.
Well, I was going to say, Hilda, I was thinking of you today because Charlie Chicken
Yeah.
wants to come. He wants to come to next May's P&O luncheon.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I've sort of communicated with Dave Jukes, and he gave me a bit of an intro to what his sea career was, so I could forward it to Dave. And obviously, I mentioned you in the email, John, in a nice way.
Oh, well, of course. Is there any other way?
It was a bit of a struggle, but I managed to get it sounding
You
nice.
wicked bitch.
By the way,
BBC Pete, it's good to see you.
it is good to see you, Pete. I've ordered a Big Boy Foster's through the medallion, so if you see me leave to answer the door, that's what I'm doing. Yeah. Can everyone hear me? Can everyone say something? I don't get a response.
Yeah, I can hear you, John.
Yeah.
We didn't expect to see you. We
I'll be
didn't
able
expect to see you, did we, Dave?
I told you I was running this one.
Have a drop of rum for Nelson. There you go.
Happy Trafalgar Day. It's a bit late, but
That was last Friday, yeah. Yeah. I don't see the curtains moving in your cabin there, John.
No, it's pretty nice. I can open the door here.
I did say about Molly up in they weren't much cut, was there?
The dance was rubbish.
Yeah.
But, they didn't have a lot of choice. No, music was rubbish.
It
looks
still
like-
sun shining. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is Pete frozen?
Yeah, Pete's frozen. Yeah.
No. Hello?
Well, his audio is not frozen, but the video is.
Comes Ollie.
Yeah, he's trying to come
Ollie.
in. Yeah.
So Pete, can you hear us? you're frozen. Johnny, can you shake him up?
Well, yeah, he'll figure it out.
I tell you what, Pete was more active when he was looking out of his porthole.
Well, he comes in
Dear.
by two different platforms sometimes. That's what makes the difference.
Who's that over there?
Who does? You do, John.
No, Pete Stevens comes in for a BBC connection or a regular one. Here's Ollie.
Evening, Ollie.
Ollie.
Hello, Ollie.
David, Inge,
Nice to see you.
are you going to
Ollie,
send me?
Ollie,
are you going to send me Nevin's phone number or not?
Am I what?
Going to send me Nevin's phone number?
It looks like I'll have to, since he's not going to ring you.
Did you send it to him?
I will. I'll send it through to you. All right.
I thought someone put that on WhatsApp. I thought someone put Nevin's details on WhatsApp.
Yeah, it came through from Taffy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's where I got it from. Ollie, you look as if you're in the cabin next door to Colonel. Am I correct?
Yes. How do you know that?
It looks like you're next door to each other.
We are.
Hello, Bobo.
Hello, guys.
Bobo.
Did you have a nice walk round to this morning's Aussie?
I got soaked.
Yeah.
Got soaked, but it's okay. Yeah, I survived.
It's only water.
It's only water. That's right. It was a good little walk, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's Colonel.
I was just thinking about Colonel saying about Ralph D'Souza. Ollie,
No,
did you see that?
When you see the picture,
Colonel thought that Ralph, the chief purser on the cruise we were on, was on his ship. No,
yeah.
no.
Oh, I know because
I know that, Johnny, but I'm just talking to Ollie about it. That's all.
Doesn't he
I
keep
went-
David, doesn't he keep interfering?
Pardon me?
Doesn't he keep interfering?
Oh, I know.
Why are you sitting in the dark, David?
He's hiding.
Is that you're hiding your dinner?
He's hiding something.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't seem that long ago. We were all sitting in the sunshine.
That's right.
Hello, Blackpool Bob.
Good evening.
How are you?
How are we, gentlemen?
All good.
Robert?
Good. Nice to see you all, as usual. Hello, sailor. Captain, not Colonel this week, Captain.
Yeah, Captain.
Lovely.
Mm.
Cheers, everyone.
Yeah, cheers. Got my beer.
Got my brandy.
I better go and get one.
Then, Bob.
Yeah.
Huh?
Got me rum.
Got what?
Rum.
Rum, all right. This is a drop of almond yet with some ginger ale.
Oh, nice.
Mm. Where have they all gone? Very quiet.
Gone to
Yeah.
sleep.
It is quiet tonight.
What about the mighty pool yesterday?
Well done, Bob.
Oh, what a game.
Tremendous.
It was so exciting. It was unbelievable. And I got invited into the VIP lounge as well, which was even better.
Do you have lunch there?
We had lunch, yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Lunch and piss.
Nice. That's a good time. Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a day. Excellent.
Where's that put you in the table? I haven't seen the table.
Oh, we're still about 5 from the bottom, but we've
Oh, shit. I came back early.
apparently we've got the fifth best
You
goal
had to
scoring.
go back We had so much to talk about, Dave. We thought we'd better start. Let's try and get it all in.
Taffy won't be in this week, will he?
No.
He's
Where's he
making
travelling to
plans.
now?
He's making plans, I think.
Said he was on the road.
Heading south, I saw.
Yeah,
He's south.
south of France somewhere.
He went head too far south, he'll fall in the water.
Can you shut the door, Pat?
Shut the door, Pat.
Shut
Shut the door, Pat.
shut the door, Pat.
I
Turn the
take it
light
you
on,
finish your
Pat.
jarry then.
The purse is frozen.
Dave. Frozen, Dave.
It's frozen now.
Oh yeah, gone.
There he goes. Yeah.
Right.
He's back.
Well, you're in the cellar.
I'm not in the cellar.
The closet.
I'm in the removal van. Hang on.
So, Colonel, how's the cruise going?
It's going great, Barbo. Today's a sea day before we get to Capo tomorrow.
So,
Yeah.
where's that? Where's that place?
Right.
Cabo San
on
Lucas.
the way down to Mexico.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Hang on.
I knew that.
Where is
Which ship are you on?
I'm on the latest in the Princess fleet, the Princess Discovery.
Mm.
Yeah.
Discovery Princess.
Discovery Princess, yeah.
Is that a new one?
But it's the brand new one, yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm. Food good, Colonel?
Yeah, the food's good, but it's almost like they're short staffed because like breakfast this morning, didn't matter, but just like took forever, and the food's good though, yeah, especially last night in the restaurant.
What crew are they? What nationalities?
All sorts,
All
all
sorts.
sorts.
So there's
Yeah.
not one. Yeah. Okay. Nice.
He got a full complement of passengers.
Yes, we have, but mainly because of the theme of this. It's got the surviving cast members of the Love Boat on it. But
Huh?
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what's
So this-
really annoying. I'm going to get to the bottom of it. There's 4 guys dressed up in officers' whites with 4 stripes on, right? And the passengers think that they're the real thing, but they're not. The passengers, they're just dressed up like that.
Oh my God.
No, I'm serious. They've got official uniforms that must have gone from a fancy dress or something. Not fake ones.
Yeah.
And yesterday, when we were sailing, there's people getting selfish and I'm thinking they were the part of the Love Boat team.
Have they got a crew bar card?
I bet they've only ever met. I bet there's only one colonel on there though.
I bet there is, yeah.
Yeah, he's in.
Anyway, it is what it is. It's all good. It's all good.
Sorry, Johnny, I might not have heard, but where are you? Oh, you're Colonel at sea today. So where were you?
Well, we left
LA yesterday.
San Pedro, yeah, and then they're just going down to Capo today, yeah. Yeah. So
Very good. Very nice.
it's all good. All good.
Was it a 7-day cruise, John, like we used to do?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we get back to LA on Saturday, and
Nice.
That's good. And are you booked up for any tours?
yeah, that's Mrs. Klingsdale. Yeah, we're doing the snorkeling and the pirate thing tomorrow, so we can get drunk after snorkeling. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Are you going to Mazatlan?
Yeah.
Oh well, Oscar said he'll see you on the quay.
Great.
We're on the back of the bike shed.
Yeah, yeah, with Peter Law.
Actually, from what Oscar said on one of his other Oscar tales, he might be your tour guide tomorrow or whenever.
I asked Oscar if he was ever going to go back to Mexico, and he said he'd like to and he wants to very soon, but because of his health, he can't get the insurance. And
No, that's right, Scotty. But if he waits till the early part of next year, he said he can possibly get it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
because it's over a year since he had whatever it was done.
Right.
Yeah. He's good friends with Terry Burgess. I don't know. Do you know Terry Burgess? Well, he was.
Yeah, but Terry passed away, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I shared a cabin with Terry when he first
Yeah.
started on it.
yeah. He did one of the Oscar tales, and Terry Burgess and his partner, come friend, was in there. I can't remember what his name was now.
No, I can't. No.
And it mentions him.
Well, Terry was very clever. He learned Spanish and then he went to Mexico.
What do you
Taught the Mexicans how to speak
want to
English.
go out?
Oh, all
Excuse
right.
me. Gotta let the dog out. You wanna go out?
Yeah,
Boy.
yeah. He was a clever bloke, Terry.
Was anybody on the Spirit of London maiden voyage?
Well,
Only Brendan Cole.
only Brendan when he comes in. Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
And there was I was chatting with I was chatting with Jimmy McIntyre yesterday,
Oh, no.
and
crikey.
there was a bellboy on there. I don't remember him, but his name was Colin Horn, and he'd been to Thailand and had met Jimmy, I believe, Jimmy McIntyre. But apparently he lives in Broadstairs, where I am. He must be retired now, obviously, but
Mhm.
just wondered if any of you knew him or remembered him if you were
Jimmy
there.
Horn. No,
Colin Horn,
Colin
I
Horn.
wonder if Chris Chapman knows him. He was on the Spirit, John.
not the maiden voyage, he wasn't.
He wasn't. Okay.
No, it was Canberra then.
Miss
Well,
Butcher, would have
maybe
been on-
Brendan.
Miss
Brendan.
Butcher was on there, though, wasn't she?
Who?
Miss Butcher.
Come on then.
Yeah, Phil was there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on then.
Did I say I spoke to Phil during the week and he sounded really good. Yeah,
Yeah.
he
All
was
right.
all right. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
he rang me a couple of days ago.
Yeah, I must give him a call as well.
Oh, you've got Winston tonight then, Bob.
Yeah, at the moment, yes. Yeah,
Big dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
he's not very big.
No,
Oh, he just
medium.
looks big, you know. Yeah.
he's had a haircut.
update, Dave.
Come on, that's enough now. Get down.
What's that, Bob? Pete?
Charlie sent the weather update.
Oh, flipping that. We flipping need that.
28 knot.
Is he coming in?
Usually,
Yeah.
but he usually leaves it off a few minutes after the update.
Right. Let's hope he comes in.
Did anyone get that big storm at 5 o'clock? We got it in London.
Yeah,
Yeah, we had. Well, I don't know whether it's a storm. I never heard it, but it was teeming with rain.
Yeah,
Um,
no, it's a
it poured.
big electric
We've had a
storm
few
with
flashes of lightning, John, but nothing else.
Oh.
It
thunder and
absolutely,
full thunder and lightning.
Yeah.
Nothing in God's
absolutely.
country.
Yeah, it poured down here about 4:30, something like that.
Yeah, that's it.
I never heard it, but it was. I knew when I got up. I was up about 6 this morning, and it had been pouring out. Well, it was still raining actually. It was pouring.
Oh no, John. This was
No,
this
it's
afternoon.
This afternoon's.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Floods in
We've had
London.
rain, but I don't,
Yeah.
don't think we've had a storm. I haven't seen anything. No.
Which
Well,
way is it going?
I didn't see any lightning nor hear any thunder, but it absolutely poured down.
Yeah.
We had
no, we-
lightning about an hour ago, John.
Mm. Hey, what about the weather in Mexico, Johnny? Because Brendan said it might be a bit iffy.
Well, our official weatherman Scotty told me the same. Well, if it is, it's not yet because right now it's just fine.
You're looking at 120 mile an hour wind.
Well, on the TV the other day, we said that we was
There you
due for an Indian summer here
Looks
later on.
all right, Johnny.
Hey, looks awful out there, doesn't it?
Yeah, looks lovely.
Looks terrible.
It's all right.
We can
saying
always
that-
send some sou'westers out.
I'm expecting room service in a minute, so you'll see it live when it comes out.
Oh,
I
lovely.
ordered it through the app. I ordered a Big Boy Foster's, and
Yeah.
it's coming in.
Where's
minute.
your thing
Well-
that you should wear around your neck? Your
Yeah.
medal.
Is it the medal?
Right, good question, Bob. It's in my pocket because you don't need it. It's just in
Oh.
my pocket.
All
Whenever
right.
you order a beer, that they ask for your cabin number and they know. So yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
Right.
Just checking.
Yeah.
I don't want
No.
you improperly dressed.
No, but I tell you what's nice when you come back to the cabin after getting the coffee, you come to the door and the door's open because it
Doors
does the
open,
thing
yeah, it's good,
automatically.
that,
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, we had that.
Yeah.
That cabin you're in, your photograph, it's exactly the same as the cabin I had on the Regal Princess.
Yeah, it's a mini suite, so it's just not too bad
Yeah.
actually.
Oh, guess who's here?
Did
Oh,
you
it's
have any
not.
problem getting in your
Oh,
cabin door in
easy.
Worcester? Did anyone have a problem getting in their cabin door in Worcester?
I had a problem getting out of it. Worcester was mentioned this morning about the noise of the bottles being dumped into the great big container about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and it was flipping noise. Did you hear it, Ollie?
Oh,
Oh,
I
you
thought they'd put me in the bloody gardening shed when I found my room.
Gardening, yes. That 5-star then, Bob.
That was big crap.
that was one of the luxury ones, Bob.
It's a nice hotel, guys. If you're in.
Is Bobo going to turn his lights on?
I can't actually, Colonel. Sorry, I'm in the bedroom, but this light's poor. Sorry.
This is the one.
Yeah, sorry.
Look, it's not the lights, it's you just being there that counts, Bobo. All right. Okay. Just remember that.
It's all about us, isn't it, David?
It's
The spotlight's on you too. Yeah.
yes. Yes. Oh, good. No, Scotty, what obviously you're not, because we haven't got Watsy's not in, so we can't promote, we mow them, grow them and sow them, but you're promoting Kahlua. Now what's the story?
Take it.
Well, no story really. It's the
I bought you
nearest to
some
Mexico
mince
I
pies
can
as well.
get. That's about it.
Did you used to enjoy it or still enjoy it?
I do that. I used to sit in the cabin late at night with Brendan after we finished it. Probably down that bottle of Kahlua. as one did.
As one did, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. It's a nice picture. Nice picture. And Hilda, the flower arrangements as usual. You never let us
Very
down.
nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
No, very nice.
They do very well, them plastic flowers, don't they?
Especially for you, David.
Hey, Bob, now don't start all that. Yeah. Right.
So we got two backdrops the same here. We got Fruity's and yours, David.
Oh, I'll change mine then.
Well, no, Colonel's meant to have put his on, and then we would have had the Ollie sponsorship fully covered for the top row. Oh,
look at that.
Oh, flipping great. Oh, there's Fruity coming in. So is that under the is that under the time? Only joking. Only joking. Oh, flipping great.
That's on the Manchester Ship Canal, that, isn't it?
Oh, hey, before I went on the Hebridean Princess, they had actually gone down the Manchester Ship Canal that year.
Yeah.
And they got down and did a loop. And when they were overnight there, hello, Brendan.
Hello, Brendan.
Guys.
Lovely. Yeah, Brendan, you might be in disguise, but we can still recognise you. All right. Like the bins. But anyway,
I can't see without them.
No, don't worry. But anyway, we were down I wasn't on board, but the Hebridean Princess sailed down the Manchester Ship Canal, got down to Salford Quays and then did the U-turn and stayed overnight there. And these guests are all like 70, 80, 90-year-olds. On the quay side, there's this huge, great, like a tent. It's like a huge, big tent. And there's a show going to be in the tent. This all part, obviously for entertainment for the locals. And who was appearing? The Lady Boys of Bangkok.
Oh, fucking hell.
And it's right at the end of the gangway. All these guests are like 70s, 80s, whatever year olds, all posh people.
Did they recognise you, Dave?
Boogie,
all right,
Boogie,
all right.
Boogie Street in Salford, eh?
Yeah. Hey, it's lucky Steve Walker's not in tonight. He wouldn't be happy, would he? Bloody hell.
I don't know. I don't think any of you could have been there. Well, Brendan might have been, but we did a 3-day cruise. This is when it was Spirit of London from LA, and unbeknown to Princess Cruises, or no, it was still P&O then. I think it was it's still P&O then. I think, and somebody had advertised it as a gay cruise.
Oh Christ!
Well, all these gays kept turning up in drag and all the rest of it, you see. And the one story was Harry Bow was on there, and all the luggage is coming on, and there's a couple of queens there looking for that luggage. And one says, "Oh, my mother's in the cabin waiting for her luggage." So the other one said, "What's she doing? Shaving?" Another one was Willie Dempster, the second engineer, was up there, and he was always 3 parts of the wind and chatting up this one. Turns out it was in drag, and when he went to put his hand down, they got a handful of bollocks.
Hey, now Hilda, ask Brendan about that bellboy.
Oh yeah, Brendan, do you remember a bellboy called Colin Horn?
I do, very well.
I don't remember him, but I was on the chatting with Jimmy McIntyre yesterday.
Okay.
And he asked, apparently he's been in Thailand where Jimmy is, and contacted him. And apparently he lives in Broadstairs, which is where I live. But I mean, he's obviously retired now, but it was just strange. I don't remember him, but I just wondered if you did.
I do. He was, he did the maiden voyage. We went to catering college together, and
the Thanet Catering College, yeah.
That's right, yeah. And 4 of us were selected to go on the Spirit of London. Colin was one, I was another guy called Alec Craig, and another guy called Stephen Waymark. And the other three guys never returned to the Spirit of London or subsequently the Sun Princess, but I did. I fell in love with the ship, and I just couldn't not go back.
Was that the Thanet College when it was in Ramsgate, or the one in Broadstairs?
In Broadstairs.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
And
I went to the one in Ramsgate.
Yeah. Colin introduced me to the Moody Blues, which I'll never forget, and because I sort of heard a bit about them, but he introduced me with all their music, and and I've loved them ever since, really. But he went on to the Canberra, and I don't think he had long on there, and then he left. And I never saw him again. And then about what would it have been? It would have been a good 25 years later. I was up in Felixstowe on a freight vessel, delivering a presentation on training that was going to be delivered to those ships. And this guy in the corner by this, "Is that you, Brendan?" And I looked around, I didn't recognise him. He said, "It's me, Colin Horn." And he had left the Canberra, and I might be wrong here. He went up to North Sea Ferries. Would that have been North Sea Ferries? They were based out of Felixstowe.
That was Hull, North Sea Ferries.
Yeah, but didn't North Sea Ferries run some ships out of Felixstowe as well?
Oh,
yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Anyway, he went from Canberra to there, and he joined as a plateman, and he stayed in the Playhouse 25 years.
Oh, Christ.
He says, "I was just happy there. No, everyone left me alone." He said, and that was the last I heard of him. Now I believe he's back in Broadstairs. I might be wrong, but
no, he is, because Jimmy told me yesterday he was in Broadstairs. I said, "Well, I don't know him." I said, "I can't remember him," but
John, why don't you try searching for him on Facebook?
Yeah, I will now. Yeah, I never thought of that. Yeah, I will do. Yeah.
I'd love to see him again, because we were quite pally on the ship and stuff, so. But yeah, 25 years in the Playhouse. How about that?
Yeah, well,
sounds like the guy that was on the old Oriana.
Oh,
Dave, it beats your 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I worked with Steve Waymark on the Tiger.
Steve Waymark, that's right. He went on the Tiger.
Oh,
He was a Tottenham Hotspur fan.
he won't be
Hot
after
Hotspur
today.
And he ran a pub locally. He had a B&B, then he ran a pub.
Mhm.
I haven't seen him for a long time.
Yeah.
Well, I'm blessed. Hey, that was interesting, Hilda. You know, you mentioning that, and then Brendan certainly followed on with quite a history of, you know,
yeah.
where it is. Is there anyone else that enjoyed working in the Plate House in the crew bar here
25
tonight?
years.
Other than yourself.
Apart from me, apart from me and Ollie, is there anyone else that loved working in the Plate House?
Yeah, but you finished in the Plate
tell
House,
you.
Dave. That's the difference.
No, the Plate House finished me.
I had a job
when I
on the port. Hey, listen, I had my job on the port boat, and it was an 8-month trip, and my job was solely fucking strapping up, and I've never washed a plate and dish since. 25 years, but boggles the mind.
when
Jesus.
I left cruises, I went on to the ferries. My first job was in the Plate House, and you did a handover. There was a guy going off, and you were coming on, and the guy said, "I've got that box there for you." And I said, "Oh, what's the box for? What's in the box?" He said, "Oh, bleach." I said, "Bleach?" I said, "What do you use that for then?" He said, "Well, it goes in the plate machine." And I said, "Bleach in the?" I said, "No, you put a detergent in there for washing the dishes and the plates up." No, he said, and he got these 2 liters of bleach.
Oh no!
Poured them into the tank. But he said, then it all comes out nice and clean. And I said, "What?" I said, "But doesn't detergent do that?" He said, "No, it doesn't get it off. That bleach does." To empty the tank out, it stank of bleach, but the crockery was still smelling of bleach. I couldn't get rid of it.
Oh, bloody hell.
Terrible.
Very dangerous product.
They used to put soap powder in the washing machine,
Oh my
in
God.
the plate machine, and it would froth up.
Yeah.
You got
Everywhere.
2,000 punters waiting for something, and you got a plate house frothing up.
I tell you what, seriously,
Go on.
seriously, bleach is one of the most dangerous substances you can use because it does not clean. All it does is disguises anything that's on it. It does exactly what it says on the tin. It bleaches it.
Yeah.
I know.
You know, I worked in the
On
cleaning
the telly,
industry.
Domestos kills all known germs.
Yeah, I worked in the cleaning industry for a long time, and we weren't allowed to use bleach. It's a
And it
terrible
tastes
substance.
horrible.
It's a terrible substance, very dangerous.
Welcome,
Doesn't it kill germs,
Charlie
though,
from Bermuda.
Well, they say it does, but to be honest, I wouldn't ever use it.
Because you use it in the toilets, don't you?
Yes, but it doesn't clean. It
Not
doesn't
cleaning.
clean.
It's not a cleaning agent.
No,
No.
that's what I'm saying. Does it kill germs? Because I thought that was the thing for it in the toilet.
Yeah.
To kill
Well,
the
that's
germs.
what they say. Yeah, but that's only what they say, John.
Hmm.
I cleaned all the tea stains off of the teapots when I was an ABO.
Yeah.
That's flipping good. Yeah.
And I tell you what, you put some bleach down a toilet,
Yeah.
and then put an ordinary toilet cleaner down there, and you need to run because it'll make chlorine gas.
Froth up, yeah.
Yeah, chemical reaction. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a bloke on the Tiger.
They used to use it in the laundries on the ships.
Yeah, we had a bloke on the Tiger. He put the bleach in the shower along with something else, and then he turned the hot water on, and he literally burnt the paint off of everything all the way up the stairs.
Yeah.
Dangerous stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Very
Didn't
dangerous.
Trump suggest using bleach for the COVID cure? Maybe you should drink it.
Donald Trump. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Boris said. Have a cup of bleach.
Well,
I'll
if you
tell you
want,
what, when I've been into the toilet, you don't need the bleach and the chlorine. I flipping leg it anyway. It's flipping lethal.
well, hopefully Boris will drink a cup of it before tomorrow.
Let's hope so.
Right
Yeah.
now, so
You got
we've
his
got
face?
Charlie. We have read the correspondence, and thanks for sending it through. But Brendan still wants to ask you the same question, so we can hear it verbally.
Well, I've got a clue that it's hot in Bermuda today, And
It's
the reason
very,
I say
very
that
hot. Yeah.
is the fan is going on behind you, Charlie.
Yeah.
So-
There's a good breeze, but it's still very hot.
Yeah, I think you need to put a few more pence in the meter because the fan's on the blink.
No,
Blink.
that's going. It's just that illusion that you see from that end, but
Okay,
here it's
okay.
going all the while.
I'll put the glasses on for you today, Charlie, because you couldn't
Yeah,
figure
yeah,
out.
I see that. Yeah, very good. Yeah, you're one of us now.
Wonderful. Yeah, join the club. Flipping
Yeah,
heck.
yeah,
Yeah, it's on the hill. On the hill.
Except for John.
Yeah.
Wait,
He's
oh yeah,
run out
Hilda's
today.
not got bins on today.
There you go.
Oh, there they are.
Well done.
We're in the bin club. Yeah.
I have to come nearer the screen to see you all now.
Yeah.
Do we look prettier?
Gary.
All right.
I didn't know there was magic glasses.
Oh, flipping heck. Yeah. So now question for Ollie. Ollie, you know, you went to sea in 73, was it?
71.
71. Oh, sorry. Yeah, right. Okay. And that was as a bellboy.
Yeah.
After you, what? No, I was going to ask you, what was your first job as bellboy?
It's in the restaurant doing the soups.
On the Aronze.
Oronze, yeah. Then go and get the soups from the galley and then serve them to the wingers.
Well, you took them through to that huge, great. Well, I did the same on the Canberra, but I presume it was the same on there. A huge, great tank. You filled it up, and then you ladled the stewards' bowls as they came up. Yeah.
Get soup for breakfast as well.
Yeah. Whatever was left from the night before. Yes, Bob. Yes.
Did anybody ever come up and say, "Can I have some more?"
No.
No.
Brown Windsor soup.
So that was your very first job at sea, then, Ollie.
Yeah.
Same here. Same. What about Brendan? What was yours?
Well, I joined the Spirit of London, and one of the jobs we did, the Orchids was in front of us, and she'd just finished. And I remember Harry Bell sent us over to get coat hangers. The ship never had any coat hangers; they hadn't been supplied, and we were not far off sailing. And we had to go out and spend all day taking coat hangers out of cabin lockers, passenger cabin lockers, for the ship. But they then got some more delivered or something. But after that, we used to man the telephone exchange mostly on there, and then we would do all the, I suppose, cabin service out of hours, and we'd get messages from various officers and things like that to go and pick up mail, or we'd have to go up to a bar and help them, or stuff like that. We were pretty much dog's bodies. But that's
Where was the
what bellboys
telephone
were.
exchange then?
Didn't they have any teleops on there?
No. It was all bellboys ran it with the
Where
night
was the
watchman.
telephone exchange? I don't remember.
Yeah, it was on A deck pantry, and it was
Pantry,
with.
that's right. Yeah.
And it was. We used to do it with the night watchmen, who were all
That's
balmy.
right,
Of course,
yeah,
they were all
yeah.
completely nuts. I don't remember. They were either alcoholic, or they were on their last legs. You know, their lungs had gone. They all had that yellow streak in their hair where they used to have the old cigarette going. You know,
Too old to be cabin stewards.
yeah. They were mad. One of them actually, he took me in front of Peter Jennison. It was my first login for. I had a stewardess in the cabin, and I'd put the pillows, because we had to be in bed by 10:30. And I borrowed. Do you remember Dee Dee, Hilda?
Yeah,
Dee Dee St.
lovely
John.
Dee Dee.
And she was in the Starlight Bar, so I borrowed her cabin to get this girl down there. And I got this girl down there, and I'm making all the moves, so to speak. And then a rattle tap tap on the door. It's a night watchman, and he said, "What are you doing in there?" I said, "I'm recording some music." And he said, "I'm coming in." And I said, No, it's all right. I'm coming out. So before I could do that, I'd managed to get the girl in the locker and close the locker door. And he came in, and he's sort of looking around. So I'm stood there, sort of saying, "What? You know, I've just got my tapes and everything." Then the ship moved, and the bloody door opened to the locker. And
She fell out of the closet, did she?
This girl was crouched inside. So
did she come out the closet, Brandon?
she came out of the closet. So he took me in front of Peter Jennison, and I got a login holding social intercourse, as I used to call it then.
I don't know if any of you remember. I don't know I can't remember the bellboy's name. It was some princess, and it was in the late 70s, I think. But there was a knock on my door one morning, and John Cusack, I think, was the second steward or accommodation officer, or whatever they were called then. There, so it was about 10:30 in the morning. I think I'd had a bit every night in the bar the night before. I got my head down, it was spinning a bit, and he says, "Can I see you a minute, John?" So he came in. He said, "I've got a bellboy out there." He said, he was in, I think it was Peter Story's cabin, and given him his key, and he'd taken this passenger down there, but she was underage. And Mike Hawksworth, I think, was the DP. And I can't remember the night watchman, but they were searching the ship for this girl because her parents had complained that she was missing. And of course, they find her in this cabin. Well, the boys said that they were just sitting on the bed talking. The accusation was that they was in bed together. And
Perish the thought.
Yeah. So anyway, I said to I said, "Well, bring the boy in." I said, "Let me, you know." He wanted me to go up and represent him, sort of thing, speak up for it, because this boy was shit scared. Sammy was the captain, and he wanted to throw the book at him. So I said, "Tell me your story." So he tells me this story. He said, "We just sat on the bed." He said, "But they say I was in bed with her." He said, "I wasn't." Well, I can only take the boy's word for it. I can't say, "No, you're wrong, I don't believe you." He wanted me to go up and represent him. So anyway, we go up to Sammy. So Sammy was all ready to throw the book at him, and I forget what he came out with first, but I questioned it. And once you question it, you've got to have everything taken down in writing if it's not a straightforward case. So we had to wait for one of the girls to come up to take shorthand of what was being said. So anyway, I forget, I think Dickie Ball was the purser, and the witnesses are brought in. They're not in there when this is all going on. So Mike Hawksworth comes in and said, "No, we found them in bed," and all the rest of it. Night watchman comes in and said he's found them sitting on the bed. So there was this controversy between the two witnesses. So at the end of the hearing, sort of thing, Sammy said, "Have you got any more to say?" So I said, "Well, Captain," I said, bear in mind, I says that both the witnesses tell a different story. I said, one said he was on the bed, one said he was in bed. I said, also, I said, this is the boy's first trip. I said, he didn't know that he wasn't supposed to have passengers in his cabin. So immediately Sammy says, this was Dickie Ball. He said, "Purser," he said, "who's supposed to instruct these boys when they come on the ship?" So Dickie Ball said, "Well, I'm not sure." He said, "Well, find out and let me know." Well, when the boy came on the ship, Sammy was the deputy captain, and it was the deputy captain's job that was supposed to instruct these boys. So anyway, he sacked him off the ship, and Sammy come and saw me afterwards. He said, "Well, thank you for coming and standing up for that boy." He said, "I had to sack him off the ship." He said, "Because you know what Americans are like." He said, "They'd sue us for God knows what." He said, "He won't get the sack out the company." He said, "He'll get another ship." He said, "But I had to get him off the ship," which I think he went at the end of the cruise, if I remember right.
Right.
Bad luck on there, really. The parents would have created, I suppose. So
yeah.
I mean, I never had that problem, but it was.
It was quite funny, the turnaround when Sammy was deputy captain. It should have been instructed the boys. But
yeah, very good, very good. And at Blackpool Bob, obviously, we've got a lovely picture of you as a bellboy.
Right.
So where were you, and what were you doing on your very, very first trip to sea?
Oh, my very first trip to sea, I was on an oil tanker. I was engineer's pantry boy. My first P&O job was lift attendant on the Strathird. Yeah. And I got the sack off there for getting pissed. I think I've told you this before. Went ashore in Fremantle, everybody said, "You got to go and get pissed in the first and last."
First and last.
So we did. And
so you did.
And they sent a letter to my mum, didn't they?
No.
Yeah.
And what did you get flown home, or did you say?
No. I didn't get a sack there, but I didn't get asked back at the end of the trip. You know what I mean?
They didn't have planes in those days, Dave.
Excuse
Yeah,
us.
yeah. Oh, he's
Steady
working
on.
Very funny.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
Johnny.
Yeah.
And Scotty, you were a bellboy.
I was a
weren't you?
bellboy on the Chew Sand, 1969. And my first job was in the first class lift. And I think we made more money driving people up and down in that lift than we did in wages. So
Yeah.
excellent job. I
Yeah.
moved from there. I got a promotion from there to the wardroom in the officers' bar.
No drop.
But you didn't get no tips there.
No, but that's where I learned.
Other things. Business.
And then,
farming life.
then I worked in the bureau, which was even better because Graham Heap was the senior AP.
No.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, and I used to go round selling the wireless news and the good morning sheets and disembarkation cards to all the cabin stewards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got an arsehole for that. I was a bellboy on the All Silver, and I was doing the same thing with the good morning sheets, and the laundryman didn't bother me, so I said, "Fuck you, you're not getting any more papers." So because he went to the chief steward and
yeah.
Bob, was that where you said? Bob, was that where you sailed with Dave Dudley or Sober?
It was, yeah.
Bellboys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been up to see him. I went up the other week and he wasn't there.
Right. Yeah.
Who was Dave Dudley? What was he doing?
Head butcher.
Was he?
No. Dave Dudley.
Dave Dudley was
ended
a
up.
bellboy.
He
Oh,
was,
sorry, I thought you said Dave Huntley. Sorry.
No, Dave Dudley.
Last time I saw him, he was galley bosun on the Chew Sand.
Yeah, he ended up galley bosun, assistant head waiter. I sailed with him on Canberra, probably when you were on there, Bob, as well.
I
About
don't remember him on
75.
there, but it could well have been. Yeah.
It was either that or Oriana, one or the other.
He wasn't gingerhead, was he?
He
Sort
was a
of
big,
sandy hair.
yeah, big, really big guy, Scotty.
Yeah.
Tall.
Very loud, very loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, he drinks in a pub in Basingstoke, but he doesn't keep very good health. He doesn't keep very good health. And I popped up there the other day on a Saturday thinking he would be there, and they said no, he normally only comes in on a Sunday now, which is not very convenient for me. So, but a nice old boy.
Well, I'm blown. So for where you are, Overton, there's quite a few of you then that were at sea with you and Phil and this Dave Dudley.
Yeah, but he doesn't come from Basingstoke originally.
He was from Southend, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, yes, he was. Yeah. And he still supports Southend Football Club.
Yeah.
Bruce, he stopped talking about football, for goodness sake.
And of course,
please.
Miss Butcher used to live in Overton.
Yes.
Charlie, that Dave Huntley, he's I think he lives in Philippines now, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Dave Huntley does, yeah.
Yeah, he came from Folkestone originally.
He goes under the name on Facebook as John.
Yeah, he came from
John
Folkestone.
Seaman.
And
No.
I was
Facebook.
the best man at one of his weddings in Blackpool.
One of his weddings.
Yeah.
I'm in general touch with him. I speak to him, well, not speak to him, but message him quite often.
Yeah, on Facebook. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Mention my name, you'll get a good job.
Oh, well done, Scotty.
Yeah.
Hey, and Charlie, obviously you were not a bellboy, but how did it come about for you going off to sea anyway?
I was trained as a butcher, and they were looking for butchers.
What you didn't have to apply?
The pool were on Piccadilly.
Or you went to the pool?
I went to the P&O office, and they were looking for people in the kitchen, and I wasn't a chef, and they said, well, what else do you do? I said I was a butcher. I said, oh, we're looking for butchers also. So I was told from there to go down and join the union, and I went down and joined the union, and then well, within a week I was on the Arcadia sailing off. So
Did you have to
actually, the
take-
first port of call was Bermuda.
Charlie, did you have to take your own knives and meat cleavers and things like that?
It was best if you did, because the knives they used to have on there were chronic.
Rubbish.
You couldn't
Yeah.
use them. I found that out after the first trip to sea, that the knives they had were useless. So when I got paid off, I went and bought my own and travelled with them ever since.
That time of when we went to sea, I think it was the same with everybody through the galley and the bakery and everything. You were better off having
Yeah,
your
if you
own
had your
knives.
own
I had all
tools,
my
you
own
were
knives.
one step ahead.
I remember there was a
What-
chef, John. His name was Big Frank. He was in the galley. I can't remember his last name now.
Oh, this is Oriana.
No, on the Spirit of London, and we were in the airport.
Oh, Frank,
queue.
yeah, they used to call him the Duchess. His second cook, Frank. I'll think of his name in a minute. I know who you mean. Big
He
guy.
had- we were in the airport queue on the flight home, and I think it was one of the first flights. And I'll never forget, on his back, he had a bag, and he had all the knives, the handles were out the back. And I remember standing there thinking, blimey, Frank's got a lot of knives. And then, of course, you imagine going on an aeroplane now with all those, you just
I know,
would never
yeah.
get through.
I can't
And
think
a
of his
woman
name. I
was
know who
so-
you mean.
And a
I think-
woman was choking on a sandwich at the check-in. She was eating a sandwich as she was checking in. She started choking, and Frank hit her on the back. The sandwich went flying all over the woman that was checking in.
250
Nice
mile
one.
an hour.
We hadn't even got on the plane.
Yeah.
Tony Kerslake, Fluffy. I don't know if you remember him.
Oh,
He used to call
Fluffy.
Frank the Duchess of Leicester.
Oh, talking about that, Jimmy's not in tonight.
No,
Oh,
he'll be smiling tonight, won't he?
Yeah, be smiling.
Yeah, definitely. He's probably still
Only got-
celebrating up there.
That banging on the back thing, is that what they call the high neck maneuver?
No,
Well,
that's,
to get
that's
someone's
the
choking.
waist
You
in the
grab them and you
stomach.
pull them
Grab
up.
him round the waist and
Yeah,
pull it
keep
up,
it,
pull
keep
up.
going.
All right.
You know, like yeah,
The
you
bang
know,
on the
like
back
we
is
used
just
to
a bang
do.
on the back.
Mm.
I think talking about flying home once we come. I think it was from. I'm not sure if it was the Arcadia, or the Himalaya. I think it was the Arcadia. We flew home from San Francisco, and this guy had been flown out as a relief barman, and he was a total pisshead. I've never seen anybody like him. And we found him one day. He hadn't been to bed. He was still in his bar, asleep, and he messed his trousers, to be polite. Anyway, that's by the by. We got on this plane to come home in San Francisco, and when we got into Gatwick, we all got our gear, the plane going through customs. And he was like, he opened his case, and all came out was a load of fucking coat hangers. He'd left all his gear on the ship, put coat hangers in his case. Yeah.
They were the ones you were looking for, Brendan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ollie,
Oh. Hey, no, question for
Go on.
Pete. Pete, you were not a bellboy, were you?
Nah, I missed it.
Missed it. But so go on then. So when you first went on your very first trip, where were you? What were you doing?
Well, I'd left Croydon Technical College, and I was fed up with all the sort of jobs that were being advertised locally. I think the only one that sort of caught my attention was working for the gas ball, believe it. But a mate of mine had just got off the All-Sober as a bellboy, and he'd just been made up, I think, to a winger. So he said, well, look, why don't you come to sea with me? So we went up. I went up to P&O House in Aldgate, and they said you have to join the union. So we went down to Prescott Street, and it was quite easy actually. Within a couple of weeks, I got a position on the Arcadia as an assistant bedroom steward, but because I was just a little bit too old to be a bellboy, so flew out to Vancouver. Well, it might have been San Francisco, and then. That was a great job, assistant bedroom steward, looking after the BRs, because the handbag at the end of a cruise was incredible. It's more money than I've ever seen in my life. But it's funny that the main things that we had to do were obviously strap ups from all the tea and coffee served in the mornings, get all the linen up, but also get all the dirty linen down, and especially keep them well stashed with bleach, because they all used to use the bleach to clean all the showers with, and they used to dry that. All the BRs used to dry it up with the towels.
Yeah.
So all the
linen was wet. Yeah,
it was wet and it stank of bleach.
You had to carry it all the way down to the laundry, all rolled.
I tell
up
you
in a
what,
big bag.
I bet you were fit. I remember I did a trip as ABR, and I was as fit as a butcher's dog.
Oh,
running
yeah.
down with with them big sacks of linen up and down them ladders, and God, blimey.
It was a great job.
Yeah.
And I think I did 2 trips as that. Then I went in the restaurant in the Forward restaurant as a winger, and then PRS, and then barman. I didn't go straight to PRS, then crew barman, which was a great job. It was a great job in the Arcadia, because it wasn't such a workout as far as it was such an easy bar to work.
Yeah.
And then we also in the doing the crew bar, you went in the main bar as well, and that's where I met people like Pat Reed and Maisie Mars bars and Frankie, and then went topside assistant barman with. I'm still on record. I'm the longest serving assistant barman with Kevin O'Halloran.
Oh.
Who never saw the barman. So you're assistant bars and barman. If you wanted Kevin. If you wanted Kevin, he was in his pit. That's what he'd do a 6-month trip, and for 5.5 months of it, Kevin was in his pit.
Oh, no, we've all I think nearly every one of us has sailed and worked with him, and we all know the same thing. It's
lovely, wasn't it?
They get away with it. How did they get
Amazing.
away with it?
Whispering Jack.
I've just thought of that name of Frank. It's Frank Woods.
That's it.
Oh, okay, Frank Woods.
Frank Woods.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, cheers.
Excuse me, I've got to go to the bar.
All right. Cheers. No, Bobo. Now, come on. How did it come about, and what was your very first trip?
Well, first
It's frozen, or have I frozen?
No.
I've frozen. Go on, carry on.
First trip was Canberra in April of '74. I was a catering manager for Owen and Owens. It had stores in Coventry, Wolverhampton, Cheshire. So not Cheshire. Where was it? Near Liverpool somewhere. Actually, one of the stores was in Liverpool. And then I had a supervisor that was an Irish girl that her son was a winger on the Canberra. And she said to me, "Bob, what are you doing this? Have a bit of fun, It was for a young chap, it was quite a stressy job. And I thought, why not? So I joined the Canberra as a winger, but I got it from the pool. I went down to Prescott Street, and then they sent me to Aldgate, and they went through all the bullshit, how great it was to be a silver service waiter on the Canberra. And I got there, and oh my God, I thought, for 2 weeks, I thought, what the fuck have I got myself into? I hated it. I hated it. Oh, and I got stitched up on the first cruise with a go-go, stealing all my crockery and cutlery off the table. Went up to the head waiter and I said, "Excuse me, sir." I called him sir. I said, "I've got a little problem here because, I went in to get a drink of water, did the first sitting, and then come back, and honest to God, they'd stolen everything. There was not a plate on the table, not a knife, fork, or anything. And basically, what I got, he didn't really give a shit. He just said, "Well, son," he said, "you've learned a valuable lesson there." And so I actually had to go in, and then I worked out how it all worked. Sling the plate man some money, and you got your stuff out the washing machine, and
So you didn't pin the table,
never to get it back.
Chairs in.
Yeah, I wasn't smart enough on that first 2 weeks, and then after that, yeah.
Is that the containers? Those plastic containers had a number on it, didn't they? They had a tag with a number. So you supposedly your number, but your number never came back out of the machine.
I think I had to sling them. It would have been £5 or something a cruise or something.
Yeah.
They did well.
Money.
They got off every waiter. They would have done very well.
Yeah, because I was in that aft restaurant on Canberra. and I had my tables were way at the back. You know, first trippers, they always put you way at the back, so you had to walk half a mile to get into the. I think it was a revolving door, wasn't it?
Swing, yeah, revolving swing
Oh.
doors, yeah,
And
in the Atlantic.
Yeah,
Atlantic.
Atlantic, yeah.
I tell you what, the tables,
They called it the Burma Road, didn't they?
the Burma Road.
That was the working
yeah,
alleyway.
in Burma Road, yeah, yeah.
Burma Road was the working alleyway.
That was.
I hated it, guys. I absolutely
Oh,
hated it.
bloody hell,
To
that
get your
was a
own
long
back
one.
on the go, and
Yeah.
we used to pin the tablecloth to the chairs.
Oh,
And would come in and pull
and they
the
pulled them
chair
out.
out, the tablecloth would come off.
And then I thought for a while, I thought I was popular. They all knew my name, Bob, sir.
Bob. All right, Bob.
Bubba.
Okay, Bob.
Bubba. Other man, Bob.
Oh, other man,
man,
yeah,
Bob.
other man, Bob.
Other man.
I
Billingham
was
Trader.
on, I think we were on together, Bob, when we went to Chusan, final trip to Bombay. And
I
they
didn't
did
do
a
the last
Goanese-
trip on there, no.
Oh, they did the Goanese crew change.
Oh.
I was on there when they had all that trouble doing the Goanese crew change.
Yeah, we had a Goanese crew change anyway in Bombay, and we had to check everything, all the knives and forks, the lot, everything in the restaurant. Yes, we had to whip it all off the table. Because they were going off the D-deck gangway.
Was that the trip? Not the trip when she was going to the Breakers.
No.
No, I probably was on there then. Yeah.
1970 was the
How many sewing machines did they have?
one each.
Yeah, and I can remember there was a big union tribunal on board. That I'm sure it was that trip, because one of the bedroom stewards had banjoed one of the Goanese, and they had the union down. There was all sorts of trouble. But I remember rightly, yeah.
It was the guy. Who was the union rep? Southampton bloke. He used to come on
Jimmy
in.
Garrity.
Jimmy
Garrity.
Yeah.
Jimmy Garrity, I remember him.
Cruises out of P&O.
Yeah.
And John's got out of Princess Cruises.
Yeah.
Oh, blimey, O'Reilly.
As much use as a chocolate spoon, Jimmy Garrity.
Right, he was paid off, I think.
Yeah, right. Was he ever?
We'll have to give Ollie a shout in a minute.
No,
He's awake. He's awake, the old boy. He's just
Ollie.
had 40 heads.
we're all keeping an eye on you.
Thank you.
It's
I
all
need
right.
it.
Well, Ollie, is that chair getting bigger or are you
No, I'm getting
smaller?
smaller.
You're,
Like the mastermind chair.
you're disappearing in that marshmallow.
Ollie, though.
It's like the mastermind chair, isn't it? It feels
I
black.
tell you what, it looks all right. Ollie, I'm
Does
looking
look
for
comfy,
a chair.
Ollie.
I'm looking for a chair like that. You want to get rid of it? Send it up to me.
I've got two of them. You can have the other one.
Right.
Oh,
Okay.
neck,
Here we go.
Ollie. Does it
Here
come
we
with a
go.
matching footstool?
Yeah, it's got one.
No.
I've just put it on eBay.
Everything.
Oh,
Oh. All right.
There you go.
Ollie.
The one room man.
I meant to ask at the reunion, was Alison Ross still there? Was she there? The nursing
yeah.
sister?
Yes, but she's
I meant to
aged.
say,
She's
I meant-
rather aged a lot, Brendan.
Yeah.
I wanted
She-
to say hello to her because she traumatized me once with a bit of her medical professionalism. We were playing in a football match in Puerto Vallarta, and I'd slid in, and I cut my leg all the way down from my thigh right down to just below my knee, and it was a very thin cut. It was a piece of glass, and it was just like a deep scratch, really. But I thought I'd better get it looked at, and I went up to the Stuart Fleming was the doctor, and Alison Ross was the nurse, and I went in there and I said, "Do you think I should get something done with that, or just give it a wash?" She said, No, come in. She wasn't best pleased. She said, "Come in here," she said.
No,
I
you
think
don't.
she'd had a few. And she said, "Lie on the
That sounds
bed."
like Alice.
Lie on the bed. And she got, which is like a loofah thing, scrubbing brush thing. And she went up and down my leg. I tell you, I crawled out of there half dead. She said, "You won't get an infection now." I said, "Well, I'd like half my leg back."
She was a lovely lady.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I've still got the scar. It's very small, very thin, but it's still there. And I call that my Alison Ross scar.
She was there. She
this
was
last
there
time, but the
in,
time before she collapsed at the, I think it was just before or during the what's the name? She had to be taken out the year
Yeah.
before. No, 2 years
she-
before. 'Cause I wasn't there the
yeah,
year
but
before.
she was there in May, John, but she
Yeah, she
didn't
was.
look-
I saw her. Yeah, I
she-
saw her.
you know, she didn't look her old self. did
Yeah,
she?
I'm
no.
sure she forgot about it, but
Well,
oh,
I first
shit,
sailed with
that's it.
Alison on the
Lovely
on the-
lady.
I first sailed with Alison on the Chitral on my first trip as chief baker, and I got landed in Hong Kong with a slipped disc, and I was ended up there for 5 weeks. I had operation there, and I was virtually paralysed when they took me off the ship on a stretcher.
Yeah.
But she came down. I wanted to go to the loo during the night, and I couldn't get out of bed, and I was banging on the bulkhead, and the chef's cabin next to me, and he came in, and I said, "Well, I need to go to the loo." I said, "I can't get out of bed." Anyway, he got me to the loo, back again, and he went and got the nursing sister down. She gave me an injection. Then when the surgeon came down in the morning, he said, "Well, I think you need to go to the hospital." He said, "For X-rays." He said, "to find out what's wrong." Well, I went there and never came back. I was out there 5 weeks. I was off work nearly 10 months. Actually,
Wow.
the company kept me on pay the whole time because they took responsibility for it.
That's good of them.
Wasn't so much the time in hospital, but at that time there was an uprising there with the communists, and of course we didn't have the communication as we do now. That was, I think, 1966 or 67, something like that. And I was leaving hospital. They said that once I was ready to leave and the surgeon was happy with it, they'd fly me home. Anyway, after 5 weeks, the agents came in and saw me, and they said, "All the Oronzes in port, we're going to put you on there as a DBS." And the surgeon wasn't very, this is the surgeon at the hospital, Dr. Fang, believe it or not. And he said, "Well," he said, "I'm not happy about you going on the ship." He said, "I was told you would be blown home." He said, "But he said, the agents have assured me you'll go on there and it'll be like a convalescent for you." He said, "This is the only reason I'm allowing you to leave." So anyway, this was in the morning. By the afternoon, I've joined the Oronzi. The ship's cook had jumped ship. He was in a top berth bank. Mind you, after major surgery on my back where I was paralysed, I had to learn to walk all over again. And I'm put in the ship's cook's cabin in the top bunk with the crew bar behind me and the dartboard where my head of my bed bunk
Didn't they have a DBS coming?
They sent me back DBS.
Luxury.
Then Sean Kinsella was the chef. He sent some whites up to me, and I was expected to work.
God, blimey.
Anyway, I ended up having a nervous breakdown, to be quite honest with you. And Alfie Annett was the chief baker, and things were so bad. I'd been to the surgeon, and he hadn't really taken much notice. And eventually, Alfie Annett got a day bed in the cabin there, which was eventually mine a couple of years later. And I slept in there in his cabin for the trip home. Well, the company took responsibility for it, and as I say, they kept me on pay. I got an apology from him. It was Captain, somebody was in charge of personnel at that time. This was all in London then, and they kept me on pay the whole time, which was 10 months. And I not long before that, just bought my first house or bungalow, and so money was tight for me because I put everything down on the deposit and all the rest of it, and.
I think Bob needs a pat on the back.
I swallowed, went down the wrong way. Sorry. Yeah.
But Addison told me afterwards that the surgeon on board that had to agree to the operation nearly lost his job over it because the operation I had was not accepted in the UK, and there was only a 50-50 chance of recovery. And the surgeon agreed to this operation, and he nearly lost his job over it all. But anyway, I can't remember his name now, who it was.
She's
Alison
still going. That's the main thing, Alison.
Yeah.
I don't know. She must be getting up there.
The photo behind me, I'll move out the way, is in a restaurant. I think it was Las Palmas, and Alison and Stuart Fleming were in it.
Yeah, there's Stuart Fleming.
Yes.
Yeah, and Alison, yeah.
Yeah, and Judy Smythe.
Yeah.
I can't remember who else is in it.
That's not
Colonel,
Stuart.
you see your import.
Is that Stuart Fleming? That looks more like Martin.
No, Stuart Fleming there. There's Stuart Fleming in the
That is
dark
Stuart
hair.
Fleming,
Yeah.
Alison, You've got Stuart Fleming, Alison, and Judy.
Judy
Judy.
Smythe, yeah.
Judy Smythe.
Yeah, yeah.
And the guy with a pinky shirt on was
Is it the DJ? Was he the DJ?
no, he wasn't. It was Peter Jennison's
Oh,
homie.
Howard from the florist.
Yeah,
Howard Franklin.
Howard Franklin, yeah.
Yeah. That was a job, wasn't it?
What was he doing?
Flower arranger. Cool.
Yeah. I don't actually know how I ended up going out for lunch with them. It was just one of those things. Not a clue.
Was it cash only?
Sorry?
Was it cash only?
Well, we didn't have credit cards in those days, dear.
That's for sure.
Carrying that big bag of coins was terrible.
No wonder you did your back in, Fruity.
Because that's the biggest purse I've ever fucking seen.
Life's a bitch.
Right. Now look, boys, we have gone over, which is great, but we ought to be being prepared for traffic lights and that. Now, Colonel, is this correct? Not this week, but next week there'll be the Oscar Tale coming back in, which Fruity you recorded the other day. Is that right?
Yes, yeah. It won't go on this one. It will go on next week's.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no point in putting it on this, because everyone will have watched the Zoom recording.
Yeah.
So it's a waste of time putting it on it.
Yeah.
Got it. That's good.
So
I just asked, sorry, I was going to ask
on,
Johnny if that hurricane has it hit you on the west coast of Mexico? They said there was a hurricane going to be there.
No, I think the captain was just making a talk now. That's why I muted myself. And apparently, whatever that was, is gone in land now. In land now, so it's sort of clear.
Oh, that's good.
Are you at sea, John, or in port?
Yep. No, we're at sea. Heading down to Cape St. Lucas. Get there at noon tomorrow.
Lovely.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Is that you got a cocktail party tonight, Johnny?
Yeah. It's formal nights. And not only that, I got bloody renewal of vows again, which is a mass thing because Cindy wanted to do it because.
God!
What happened to the old vows?
Well, we already did it on the Queen Mary too, and that was special. But this is a mass one, so whatever. Well, I'm going to do it.
Hope you get a film of that.
Big Sam left Seattle in the year of '92 with George Pratt, his partner, and brother Billy too. They crossed the Yukon River and found the Bonanza Gold below that old white mountain, just a little southeast of Nome. Sam crossed the majestic mountains to the valleys far below. He talked to his team of Huskies as he mushed on through the snow, with the northern lights a-running wild in the land of the midnight sun. Yes, Sam McCord was a mighty man in the year of 1901, where the river is winding, big nuggets they're finding. Nugget to Alaska, go north, the rush is on.